Ohio State, we put those things together and we create really a self-contained learning environment inside the iPad. So, this resonates with me, even though this research was done a while ago, but I hope it resonates with all of the idea that to facilitate change in students, to really educate them, we have to think about where they learn. We have to think about how they learn. We have to think about what environment will make students learn the best and be the most effective. And one of the things that I think a lot of us as professors have struggled with is we know how we learn. And it was pretty effective, obviously. We're all fairly successful, right? We're all able to teach other people. The challenge is there's a huge chasm between the way that we learned and the way that our students want to learn and the way that they need to learn. Their brains are wired differently than ours. Their experiences are differently. They have been brought up differently. So looking at the tools that we have at our disposal, specifically through the iPad, we can actually start to meet students where they learn. This is where they find information. They are mobile creatures. This is where they seek out information, they seek out learning, and they become engaged. I mean, we're always criticizing. How many of you have kids? How many of you feel like your kids are on their phones or mobile devices more than you wish they were? Yeah. Okay, so we criticize them for that, but the fact is that they are seeking information constantly. They always want to be informed. They always want to be interacting. They're everything that we hope for in students. They're just not the face-to-face people that we necessarily want them to be. So what we need to do is to use digital horizon, to engage them in a way that they can utilize this desire for technology, these apps, these tools, and these remote devices that they want to use, and we can make this an educational platform. That's what I use the iPad for. So my son, who would love to sit and watch Netflix all day on the iPad, a lot of people do. Anyone watch TV on the iPad? Yes. Anyone do their social media on the iPad? Anyone take pictures on the iPad? Anyone write things on the iPad like that? Anyone type notes on the iPad? All right. We can put all of this together and make this a tool for our students as opposed to a toy. And so for me, the pathway to get to my students, to engage them where they need to be engaged, is iTunes U and the iPad. And this is just an example. This is what iTunes U looks like on the back end for me. So I have currently 5 courses that are up on iTunes U. Every course that I teach is up there. I'll explain a little bit of what that means. These are my students. I have one class, but they check them out or they have their own. I currently did a study of all the students that are coming into my fall classes. Right now it's running that about 1/3 of them have iPad technology available to them, or an iOS device. iTunes U operates on any iOS device, so that would be your iPhone or your iPad. And those other students will have access to checking devices out for me so they can access this material. And what I need to do is to flip my classes. And I'm going to talk to you a little bit about how I did that and why I did it. Does anyone know what a flipped class is? Can you tell us what a flipped class is? Exactly. So I have put all of my lectures online, and they're all in no more than 7-minute videos. And they have this video of PowerPoint, and then I also recently bought a program called ScreenFlow that enables me to do a image in an image. So I can put my video of me talking as a small inset into the PowerPoint slides, and it engages them a little bit more. And I flip the class so that all of my lectures, all of their notes, all of the material that they need is online on the iPad in iTunes U. They can access that material. They can come into class ready to work. These are what my courses look like. There's 5 of them, as I mentioned. So I teach all aspects of journalism, from immersion journalism, magazine writing, writing editing for news. This is a book that I've written called Always Get the Name of the Dog. That I built a course around that, so I'm kind of playing around with how we can combine these materials together. But my goal for them is that once they grab hold of the iPad, every piece of learning that they need exists inside of that. So they have their lecture materials, they have their notes, they have accessible tools that they would need, apps, cameras, note-taking devices, transmission information, their ability to interact with me, so we communicate by Twitter. I have them, they're blogging all the time. They do everything on the iPad. So this is what an iPad, the inside of iTunes U looks like for them. There's a clear introduction that shows them what the course is about. And you'll notice on there's an overview. You can list these different pages as terms of what your course course is about. So what's the overview? There's information about me. There's an outline of the course. And what this has enabled me to do, outline of the course in iTunes U, is that I visualize the entire course before I ever meet a student. And I see from beginning to end, how does the work flow? Where are their holes? I had one course that I taught magazine writing. I taught it, and Felicia's here, so she and I teach together. 27 times. I taught that class 27 times before I put it in iTunes U. And the moment that I started to try to put it in iTunes U, I realized, oh my God, I completely done my students a disservice 27 times because I never taught it the same way twice. And I was never sure, did I include this? God forbid I taught more than one section. I wasn't sure what I gave them. Did I mention this in a lecture? Did I give them this information? Oh, I don't think that was ever complete or complex enough for them to understand. So I really started to flush it out because when I viewed it in iTunes U by building the lectures ahead of time, by creating the support materials or adding links to materials that I wanted them to see, now I started to see where the holes were, how they could build up their knowledge base. I also eliminated their textbook because by providing all of this information in iTunes U, I can update them with articles that are literally published. If we see an article today, I can have it in iTunes U in the next minute. Constantly updating them with more information, with better information, more current information, and in their case, less expensive information. It has a really easy to follow course structure for them. So this is what's called an in-session course. And there's actually two ways that you can create courses in iTunes U. And Sam mentioned that you can make them public or private. A public course, and all of my courses exist as public courses, mean that all of you out in the world can access them. You have access to every note that my students do, every lecture that they will watch, anything I post for them, I will put up in the public course, and you will be able to access it. I don't hold those in session, which means you can access it whenever you wish the material to be accessible to you. This is what's called an in-session course. So I literally set by date what I want my students to do. So you'll notice it says January 7th. This actually has a calendar function on it. So all they have to do is hit January 7th on their calendar when they're in iTunes U, and whatever assignments are due on that day will come up, and they'll be able to access them. They can watch the class video, they can read the articles that I've given them, they can access anything, and then you can see they have access to all of the information. All of the complete outline is over here on this side, so they can navigate it as they wish. I have a private course for every course I teach and a public course, so that the world can access my information, but my students have these in-session courses because I find the calendar saves us a lot of time and effort. They have the syllabus so they know when things are due, but they can never tell me I wasn't sure I was supposed to read that article because the second they open their iPad, it pops up and says you're supposed to be reading this or watching this lecture or engaging in this work. This is what the assignments will look like inside of iTunes U, so you write out some information for them. I give them instructions in terms of watching the course lecture or reading a particular story, or I'll give them actual assignments, and then that pops up for them and populates whenever they open their iPad that says, hey, you have an assignment due, you need to go out and do this activity. And then I can give them all the resources that they need also inside of this package. So all of the apps that they'll use for the course, I embed inside the iTunes U course. They have the cameras, there's apps over here you can see, so I give them Penultimate as a handwriting app, Pages, we use Evernote, Explain Everything is something that Alyssa mentioned to you as well. It's a way to actually pull in your PowerPoint slides, annotate them, and record over them, also on the iPad. So there's all the apps that we're using. My son would love to play FIFA all the time, soccer. But the fact is that the iPad gives him the ability to do his homework or read textbooks or take notes. All of these tools are built inside this single device so that when our students take this out into the world, they have everything that they need to be learning and to be executing their assignments. I also, as I mentioned, always get the name of the dog. I started creating iPad, or actually these are, any Apple device will read these. These are iBook textbooks. Apple doesn't like to use the term iBooks, so we call them interactive textbooks. These are books, this one I just released actually the day before yesterday. This is a guide to magazine writing. I really struggle with textbooks as a journalism professor because the second that one is contracted, it's out of date. And I can't rely on information that is old or inaccurate anymore. So now I create these textbooks for them. This takes me, truthfully, took me about 3 months to make each one of them. They're each in the 80 to 90 page range. They all include multimedia in them. So they all have videos, some type of assessment, some type of interactivity for my students that will be audio files. There are links, so if I'm going to do this one on magazine writing, and I want them to read the General McChrystal story in Rolling Stone, I put a link in there and I send it out. That keeps me out of copyright trouble as long as I'm sending it to links that go outside of the world. I don't have to worry about copyright or getting course packet permissions or any of that material being pulled out, and it's all free for my students now. But that's a burden to a degree. I have to make sure those links stay active, and if they don't, I go back in, I make a change, and then I can push out another edition of this book in literally within an hour. So I'm not restricted by, oh my God, it's in print and I'll never be able to access it again. I also show them real life examples. So in the interviewing book, I took students out, I bought them pizza, and I made them do bad interviews. So I had them interview each other badly, asking bad questions or not listening to each other or whatever, and we videotape that, and then we're able to show them these kind of real life examples. And we keep adding to that as it goes. The inside of what those books will look like, it looks like this is the interviewing book. You can add like these galleries, and really you can create whatever materials. You don't have to create a whole book. So if your students have access to iOS technology or anything that accesses the iPad, the iBooks, you can actually create a chapter. So what we're doing now this semester, my students will be creating their own iBooks because I have an immersion recording class that we're going to be holding. All of the projects that they create, we're going to collect into an interactive book and release that. And then I teach magazine writing, and all of the articles that they write, they're going to release that as their own magazine at the end of the semester. This sounds like what research is calling a personal learning environment. Good, because that's what it is. It's just taking it to a different level. So, research has shown us that this is where students learn the best. If they can personalize the information that they're receiving, if they can incorporate it in a way that helps them process information better. And what we're seeing is that students don't learn at the time that we want to teach them. So just because I hold a class at 9:35 in the morning, or God love you people to be here at 9:15, doesn't mean this is when you're engaging in material the best way. It doesn't mean that just because I say something once that you've incorporated into how you learn and that you can now utilize it. Students want to know information when they want to know it. They want to be able to watch it as many times as possible. They want to take a lot of the guesswork out of what exactly they need to know. They want to be able to access it repeatedly or at whatever way. So are they oral learners? Are they visual learners? How are they engaging in information? And by creating this kind of self-contained learning environment, we are able to give them the material in a variety of modalities, in a variety of forms, accessible whenever they want it, and they're engaging in it in ways that we can't really imagine. I can't imagine it, because this is my student Carly. And Carly was a brand new journalism student that I had in the fall of last year, and she walked into class and she didn't know anything about reporting. Now, normally, and I know many of you are in the same situation, I need them to do assignments faster than I can give them information if I do traditional lecturing. So I can teach them the inverted pyramid, and I can teach them about what stories are and what news is, and how you do interviews. But I can't get into the depths of how to do interviews or find sources before they have something due. There's only so many hours in the day when you're lecturing. By providing this iTunes U course, they were actually able to access 7 weeks worth of material within the first 2 weeks. And as fast as they wanted to go, they could go that quickly. Now, Carly, in the 3rd week of class, walked in and said, there's a story happening at the Ohio Union about a ticket release. There's a huge line. I don't know what's going on, but I think it's a story. And the only thing I said to her was, go. Take your iPad and go. And so she went over to our union, and she tweeted. I said, tweet me whatever questions you have. So she told me what was going on by Twitter. We were interacting with her all during class and her telling us what was happening. We talked to her about what sources to get. We talked to her about how she could start to contact people who were in the line, what she should ask them, what kind of visual she could provide. She wrote the story. She did all her interviews, shot photos, shot video, recorded audio. It did her interviews, wrote this story standing in the union, literally like up on like a little ledge, sent it to me within the hour. I edited it for her. I sent it back to her, all through the iPad, her iPad, my iPad. And within 2 hours, it was up on our school newspaper site, and the next morning it was on the front page of our newspaper. So in 3 weeks, there was a student with a story on the front page of our school newspaper who had never written anything before in her life. And I would like to tell you that she was amazing, except the next semester, Jeremy did it in 2 weeks. And all because they can learn when they want to learn. They can learn as quickly and as thoroughly, and they have the support that they need to feel like, oh my God, I forgot this. I don't have to worry. It's already there. Now we're doing just reporting now, of course. We are going through all aspects of interactive communication, and we're using the iPad for all of that too. So everybody gets a blog in my class. I have a class blog for all of them that they interact with me, and it's all available on I update this on the iPad while we're sitting in class. I will add things. I'll add photos of them sitting in class doing things. Again, that idea of personal learning environment. And I'm not restricted to, oh my God, when I go back to my office, I'll get something done, or I'll figure out, do I have a camera to shoot something with? Everything exists for the iPad for me. Thank you for blogging. And one of the great reasons I hold this up, even though it's incredibly poor English in the first sentence, is because these students posted this blog while we were in class. They were typing on their iPad, and they were looking for sources for this story about people who had bumps. And within 6 minutes, they had someone who responded to this blog post that they also tweeted out that said, I have bumps, and I'm willing to be interviewed for your story. So before they left class, they had 3 sources for a story on people who had bumps that I posted. We use Facebook as well, although research is showing us that students are not nearly as engaged in Facebook as we are. They will come back to Facebook when they are beyond college age, when they want to reconnect with people. But right now, the people that are in their environment exist in their environment. So they're more apt to use things like Instagram or Snapchat. They don't even text anymore. They're using text that we can't find, like using Kik and things like that. But I do use Facebook as a way to, I have a quick article, I'm going to throw it up on Facebook, and what I'll do is I'll take that same link and I'll put it in the iTunes U course too, if I think it's something they're going to want to access repeatedly. If it's some news that's happening now that I want them to have, but may not have enough legs to last in the iTunes U course, then I won't put them on both places. But I use this as more of a repository of things that I want them to be engaging with, like in class on a particular day. We do Graham, that's Carly, and I went to New York to do a presentation for Apple. So I post pictures of them doing things, different activities. I have them go out and do assignments and post to Instagram, and have them tag various entities and people and try to engage them. Again, this is where they want to learn. And if I say go out and take a picture, they're much less inclined to do that than if I say go take a picture with your iPad and post it to Instagram. Now they're starting to engage. And my goal for them ultimately is to use social media for good and not evil. So we spend a lot of time, especially because we have access with the iPads, they're using social media anyway. All of their mobile devices are constantly linking to social media in some way. And we can either teach them how to use it well, or we will let them use it poorly. And the challenge for us is, of course, that no one will ever make a first impression again. And what they put on social media will be the things that kill their future careers before they ever get started. So I take it to Twitter. This is actually the platform behind Hootsuite, if anybody went to the Hootsuite down yesterday. And I have, every class has a hashtag. And I have all of my students tweeting on a daily basis what exactly they're engaging in. Was it about class that they found interesting, or what did they did they have a question about, or something that was compelling? And so every day they tweet, and even if they're sitting in front of me and I know Sam's here, if he doesn't tweet, he's not there from an attendance standpoint. So that kind of encourages them to participate. But you'll see, this is the first thing that we aim to get rid of, although my student Andrew, he fights a good fight. But they post pictures. This is obviously the day we went to the Supreme Court. This is my magazine class, and you can see that they're tweeting. Now sometimes they really start to get things that are newsworthy, or things that they're trying to transmit information. And so here's a couple examples of 2 students who are really trying to participate, and they do interact with other people, so they get sources to contact them. We had Richard Blue from CBS was interacting with us. We were in class during the presidential campaign, and Jake Tapper was on the Oval, and we tweeted at Jake Tapper and said, hey, we're in our news writing class, and Jake Tapper wandered on over. So, teaching them how they can engage with the world has proven to be very useful in terms of teaching them that social media is beneficial to their lives. We also use it in assignments. So every day, almost every day, they'll have something that they can do that is entertaining, something that they can do that's engaging, and something that will use the iPad and social media and intertwine all of the things that we talk about. So this is an example of one that we do that's called Pin the Tail on the Campus, and I literally blindfold them, and in teams of 2, I will spin one of them around with a little post-it note tail. They will pin it on our campus map that I put up on the wall, and wherever they put the pin, they have to go. And we don't say another word to each other. They have their iPad, and they go, and they have to find a story idea. And so they will find the story idea, and they will send me a tweet and tell me and take a picture. So it's got to be a really tight tweet, because we got to have a picture in there too. And it'll tell me what the story is. So they can't say like campus food. So I'm like, so what? So then we'll start to dig down, literally while I'm standing in class and they're out in the field, they're engaging with me about their story idea. And they have to have a source before they leave there, so they have to send me a picture of the source that they find. They shoot a Vine video.